Krista's Beautiful Life, and today I am doing this layout, and the sketch is by Katy Colby, and she is a new sketch designer for the challenge this time, and this one's a lot of fun, and I'm going to show you the sketch. Here it is, and I will show you what parts I am kind of trying to put in there. So the thing that I'm going to do today is I have this handy dandy that I keep losing. I have this crimper. So I don't know if any of you have any of this in your stash. I did look on eBay and there's ones that are similar. I got this one at a garage sale for $1 a while back, and I will show you what it does. And to get this to crimp, I had to cut my paper in half because I wanted the ridges to come down this way, so you can see it. It has a really fun thing. So I had to cut it so that it would fit through my crimper. So if you have one of these, or if you don't have one of these, I do think they have them on Amazon. It gives you that corrugated look. Her sketch, as you can see, has lots and lots of layers, and I was concerned that when you corrugate this, it does give it a lot of bulk. And so instead of using cardstock, I am using just regular pattern paper in the hopes that it won't be quite as hefty. I'm gonna make some of this too. So how you do this, and I've done it wrong a couple times, so I'm just gonna put it through, and then the stripes are gonna come up this way. So you put it through like this, and you just put it through, and it's very satisfying. And I am not trimming it because I want it to be 11 by 11. So I have this black, I have this pattern paper. This is from Craft On, and the theme of my layout is Oh Scrap, and it's a group of us ladies that scrap together on a regular basis. So I wanted to do that. I did not trim this until I crimped it, because when you crimp it, it kind of takes up some of the space. So I want it to be 11 by 11. And you know what? I think I'm okay with this. And so what I'm going to do is, because it is crimped, I am going to, I don't normally use two-sided tape, but using just regular adhesive on something that is textured like this, I'm afraid it won't stay. So I'm using two-sided tape on this one. And I'm also using all pattern paper, something that I don't normally do. But as I am getting to the end of my Close to My Heart stash, by the end, that means I only have 3 crates left. You can't see in back of me, but the entire back wall is full of my Close to My Heart stuff. But I am making a dent. So as I am doing that, and some of the cardstocks, sometimes it's hard to match the cardstocks because I was in for 17 years, so I have a lot of different ones. I am choosing to use paper that can kind of give the same feeling as a solid. Like this paper has a very small print, and you can see even from the filming, it can really read as a solid. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. I'm coming up a ½ inch from the bottom, and I'm coming up a ½ inch from the top. I am going to tear this because when I crimped it, I crimped it 2 different times, and it's not exactly equal. So the best way I know to kind of compensate that is I am going to tear it, and then it won't matter. So I'm going to go ahead and tear this, and it's going to show the white core, and it gives it a lot of texture. As you can see on this layout, so when I'm trying to replicate the layouts, you don't have to follow them exactly, but I try to. To me, this is kind of like trying a recipe, and she's torn all of her stuff, so I'm going to try to tear all of my stuff. And I might, as I'm putting things down, I might have to tear more to make things fit. So I'm going to apply the layers as I go. So this is basically cut, and now I've got my two-sided tape hanging out, which is not a good thing. Now what shall I do about that? I think I'm just going to pull the two-sided tear off. I guess it doesn't matter because, you know, it's got a ruggedy kind of end to it anyway. So I'm going to put this one back down. It won't be real sticky, but that's about as forgiving as two-sided tape can be. So I've got this layer. I'm going to kind of put it to the edge. This one I am not tearing on this side because it's just getting a little too crazy. So I'm going to put that right here, and I'm going to put my tape down because, like I said, it's corrugated, so I do have a concern that it won't stay on there. This is an old paper pack. I had quite a few of it, so some of you might be joining me from the title swap, and this is the layout that I did with the title that I gave you. I'm kind of excited to see what other people are going to do with their title. So we have a title swap, and I'll show you. So my title, I'm not doing 2 pages because I'm running a little bit behind on this one. So it says, "Oh, scrap," and then the second part of that title is more photos. And I think sometimes we feel that way. You know, we all love photos. So here's the other second half. So this would go on the second page when I design it, but I'm just doing 1 page today. Sometimes when we get more photos, people always ask me, what do you want for Christmas or birthday or whatever, and I always say, oh, I want more photos. And then when we get them, then it's like it's more pressure because we have more pictures to scrap. So anyway, so the group that this is a picture of is, we have been getting, I think it's been almost 10 years. So we meet once a month, the second Sunday of the month, and we meet in the Adventist church, and we have such a good time. It's such a nice group of ladies, and we've kind of turned into a scrapbooking, not co-op is not the right word. It feels like a co-op sometimes. Okay, so that's my next layer, and then I'm going to bring this one down here, and I'm not the least bit concerned. I'm going to tear this after I get this part because I'm wanting this to show. If I can get the happiness is homemade to show, I will be so happy. So I'm going to tear this one down, and this is my next layer. You could have definitely gutted this, but I just, how she has it's showing in different places, like it's showing here and there, and I could have gutted it and then, but I didn't know how to do that and crimp it at the same time. So it's kind of fun. I always, when I go to garage sales, I'm always looking for fun tools. And all of my, like, I've been using the Crocodile quite a bit in this challenge. And that is a really super old tool that I found at Costco. So I feel like a lot of these old tools, they take up room, and so that's why you can get them at garage sales, and then they come back in, and everybody buys them again. So it's kind of a funny thing. So I'm just kind of, I am using my nails, which isn't the best way to do this. You can, if you have a paper piercer or scissors that's pointy, you can jab it, and then it comes up way easier. I am challenged when it comes to double-sided tape. So this is day 11 of this challenge, and remember, there are all kinds of different people that are doing this challenge. You can post your version of it. When I do them, I tend to post the dimensions, and when I try to, I'm kind of a title person. I like using Cricut for titles. So anytime that I have, if you're watching these videos, if you look below in the description file, I usually have a link for the design space file, and you should be able to just click on that and it will take you directly to the Cricut file that I use. A lot of times they're borrowed. Oh my goodness, this is such a pain. You see me? I wish I had the little speed up thing. I could speed this up, and I'm looking for a paper piercer because this is not going well. Okay, I got it. Okay, this one's gonna go. You just have to. Two-sided tape is a wonder, but man, especially I feel like it's even harder to get it to come up on when you're using heavier things like this, but maybe not. Okay, I just okay. Success is mine. I feel it. I feel it. I feel I'm going to be a winner. I don't know if that's, yeah, or not. You can tell I'm not one of these people that have long nails, and I'm always amazed at those people that can do that. They can do crafts, and they've got the long nail. I'm being a little bit like Eleanor Burns here and just throwing my paper down on the floor. I have a broom right next to my desk, so if it falls on my nice wooden floor, I can just sweep it up. Okay, I am going to be done with this. It's going to have whatever it's going to have. Okay, it will. Okay, that was how not to put, oops, upside down. Okay, so this is raspberry. The colors in this are raspberry, and it looks like it's going to be, okay, let me put this back up here, because I want this to be at a 1/2 inch, because that's going to be taller, and I might have to, oh goodness, I might have to, well, we'll see what we will see here. I have an idea for that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to put down is my base for my next layer. Oh, that's going to drive me crazy. What to do? I'm going to have to move this down. I just can't live with it. This is real life. Aren't you glad I can't edit? That way you get to see all my bumbles. This is what happens when you make mistakes. Okay, so I'm going to put that right here. Now I'm happy once again. I'm going to put this down here. And I am going to use regular tape, and I will put this tape on there, and I might have to tear a little bit. Let me place my pictures and see how much room I can use. So I've cut this paper and torn it at 9 by 9. I can see that I need to lose a little bit here. So this is my old scrap. I'm going to put these things, I don't want to tear so much that I don't have anything left. And what I'm trying to do is I want to put some white of the cutest paper, and that's how I started off with, was this paper, and then you're not going to see any of it, which kind of makes me sad a little bit. Okay, so that goes right there. And then this one can go here. This is that group. We did meet even through 2020 with all the craziness that entailed. I'm going to put that right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and tear this. And that's as low as I can go. So I'm going to probably have to change my plan a little bit. That's okay. And this is a 10 by 10. And I'm just going to lightly glue that. Just know that I'm going to put two-sided tape. I just didn't want you to have to watch me do the two-sided tape struggle again. And this is about a 9 by 9. And then I'm going to work on my clusters, which is my hardest part. So these are a hodgepodge of pictures from over the years that I've met, this group has met. Like I said, it's been about 10 years. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the bottom, and I have backed my pictures with black paper. And I'm going to start with this one, and it's the biggest one, and I'm going to put that one at that right there. Let me get my ruler, and I'll show you a couple other things that I did. I had a lot of fun tools in this that I used adding texture to this layout. So I'm going to put these pictures, I'm going to line them up at 11. They are not the same. I do want to show a little bit that way. And like I said, they are different sizes because they were from different time periods. And I just kind of ignored, like some people try to match their clothes. That would not work for this layout, although in this one I'm going to kind of have it where I'm giving up part of the, because it's not the exact same. And I could have done that. I could have put my pictures at any stage, but I think I'm going to do that right there. So the gal that started this is now, she is now doing mission work. This is in Beirut, and so she has started. She was definitely a scrapbooker. She used these beautiful, she did these beautiful layouts with the La France ones where you take the small pieces and paper and you like make a mosaic, and she was very good at that, and so that's mainly what she did. But when she got to Beirut, to just kind of get to know her community, she has started a card making club, and that has been a lot of fun. So it's fun to see what her group does. She has had some, you know, that part of the world is, she's very brave. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to put this one right here. So this picture and this picture on the same time, and this is me. So you can see all the different hairdos that I've had. It's kind of fun. I'm not just me, but you can see all the different hairdos we've had, and starting off brown, and now I'm like totally white. But that's kind of funny. It is kind of funny to see these group pictures, and I do kind of like making layouts where there's, I got a little cluster I'm going to put there, so I'm just going to very lightly place this right here, and I want to show you how I did this. So this is, I wanted to do, I had a PML card, but the problem was it had brown in it, and so I needed to make my own like notebook torn thing. So I have this old close to my heart die, and it makes it at the top, and I like this one because I can put it on any type of paper. So what I did was, I have a lot of this lined paper. It was called Notebook, and what I did was I cut it in rows of 6, and I cut it across, and then I just die cut it all of it so that I have a bunch of these, because these are great, and I will be journaling on the challenges that we had when we were trying to meet as a group during 2020, which is a year that most of us do not want to return to. So I'm going to just put that here, and I will do my journaling off screen. You don't need to see that. So I'm going to put my picture right here. And it's kind of funny because you can't, like, I think that's one friend, but it's like we all look so different in our masks. Okay, so I'm going to put that right here, and then I'm going to start with my clusters, which I will say that I had help on. Like, you know how when you're on game shows you can call a friend. When it comes to clustering, I call a friend, and she's great. One time I called her at, like, actually, was it this one? No, it was the one, the day number 4. I was having problems with my cluster, so I called a friend at 12, well, I, I actually sent her a text. I didn't know she was awake, and which was really sad because it was really late at night and she had to work the next day. But she was up, and so we sent pictures back and forth and said, and she'd tell me, move this here and move this there. Okay, so I have these cute little, on hers, you can see that she has washi tape. So this is fake washi tape. This is actually just a zip strip. So if you have a zip strip, the wonderful thing about zip strips is they coordinate with the pack, which is great, and they usually are out of different paper than the rest of the pack. And I have another one to go here, and I might have lost it because when I get things on this table, things start disappearing. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the rest of it. So I made, and in this file, if you would like any of this, so on this, I'm sharing a Cricut Design Space file, and it will have this and this, for cutout. These are all fussy cut from the, if you have the paper pack, Craft On is what this one is called. I'm going to put this one here. I did change it a little bit. I may have to refer back to my camera and see, so it might look a little different. So when you come on, that's what I come up with, because a lot of times when I film these, I am always a little nervous, and you know the saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. Sometimes I don't realize how things look until I go off camera, take a picture of it, and then I think, oh, that really does need something else. So here's my other, and to make it look more like washi tape, I've torn both ends, and you could also ink them to make it look a little bit more. And then I have, so this glue bottle is actually fussy cut and colored. So the paper that I'm trying to add, so this was my inspiration paper. This is where I started. This is what I wanted it to say. This is the paper, and it was crafting paper. You can see it's kind of like a pink outlined area. So I actually colored this one, and so that glue bottle is going to go right here. And then I have a roll of tape, and I'm just going to set that right here. And that is my cluster for here, because there's kind of a little blank spot, and I might put a little, I don't know if I can put a flower here. It's still, I might put a button, but something needs to go, and that might have to be dotted. So I might have to put, there's something that needs to go here. So maybe a purple flower, or it just has, see how it's kind of blank? Don't really like its blankiness. Let's put a little, yeah, okay. This is kind of a weird cluster, but that's what I'm going to go with, because otherwise it's too blanky. Okay, so I'm going to put a cluster over here, and I'm going to put one down here, so I have my triangle of sorts. So I'm going to put this one here. Actually, I can put this right here, so that one looks okay. And then I have a button that can go right here, although I think I'm putting the button down here, I think. And then this one, I could have a little flower like that. I think I'm going to put there. And then I will look for another little small purple flower to go right there. Anyway, that is my layout as created. I hope it gives you some ideas of things that you might be able to do. So go ahead and look in your stash and see if you want to play along with Christy's Beautiful Life. And there are 30 opportunities to participate in this really fun activity. So that's all for today. I hope you will like and subscribe to this channel, and we will chat with you later. Thanks. Bye.